The main source of postmodern evidence we have about the crime committed to Jesus Christ is the Turin Shroud, or the Shroud of Turin. The other evidence is the scripture. In the shroud, there is a lot of evidence, some of them already discovered by science, such as Fanti and Marinelli, through a computerized analysis measuring the level of luminance and the distance between the body and the fabric. It was possible to know the position in which the body was to be wrapped into the shroud, which evidently reflects the presence of rigor mortis, except the arms that were brought to the proximity of the body to be able to wrap in the shroud. The height of the man was also calculated, 175 plus or minus 2 centimeters. Here I, Nahum Lanza, am going to dedicate to analyze the aspect of the syndon in relation to the spear that pierced the right side of the victim. As we can see in the image of the front of the canvas is a wound on the right side of the man. The image was inverted for a better understanding of what I am going to relate, because the image of that wound is that old image and sculpture of the Lord presented. By analyzing the wound, we can see that it lies between the middle clavicular line and the external clavicular line at the level of the fifth right intercostal space. It has the shape of a cruciate oval, and when measuring it longitudinally, we will obtain a quantity of 4.6 centimeters and transversally 1.3 centimeters. As we know, the image of the cloth is a product of radiation emitted vertically by the body of the man in the time of the resurrection, which is that actually the wound in the body was something more than 5 centimeters. This spear that pierced the man corresponds to a relic of the spear represented in the image of the left side of the screen. Now the question: did the spear pierce the man? Let us analyze the fabric in this posterior image, and on the left side of the thorax, analyzing the mark present, we see that most correspond to the bruises by the flagrum, the Roman whip used in the Passion of Jesus. But we observe one of the stand out for its different characteristics. It is a wound that does not correspond to those produced by the flagrum. It's a thin wound in the form of a spindle of fusiform, also with a somewhat rounded tip, seeing that in that part of the spear did not cut well because the lack of the sharpness in that part, and only pushes the skin, which measures 3.06 centimeters lengthwise and transversally 0.36 centimeters. We can also observe that the wound is located in the interscapulovertebral space at the level of the 6th left intercostal space. And again, we see that it coincides with the tip of the spear of the image. The man was pierced. Analyzing the trajectory of the spear, we see that if the body were erect in an upright position and the spear penetrating perpendicularly, entering through the 5th intercostal space, it would come out through by the 7th intercostal space. And if we incline the spear entering through the same space, it would come out through by the 3rd or 4th intercostal space. We can also see that the anterior intercostal space are lower than the posterior intercostal space due to the inclination of the ribs. There is another evidence, a drop of blood. In a wound of the left wrist produced by the nail, we can observe that the first drop that falls vertically by gravity, with a slight deviation by the presence of this slide process of the ulna, the drop tells us of the angle of inclination in which the upper limb was at the time of the crucifixion, 45 degrees in relation to the horizontal. For a man of medium build and height of 176 cm to be with both arms at 45 degrees in relation to the horizontal, the distance between the nail of both wrists would be of 1014 millimeters. That could be the base of a triangle. The patibulum of part horizontal of the cross, being the other side of the triangle, the arms. That determines that the height of the triangle would be 535 millimeters, and the inclination of that triangle would be 55.8 degrees in relation to the horizontal. This finding determined that the inclination in which the body of the man was on the cross was 15 degrees. With that inclination of the body, the lance entering through the 5th intercostal space could exit through the 6th intercostal space, and the inclination of the lance in the sagittal plane would be approximately 40 degrees. Specifying measures, the inclination of the spear at the moment of transferring the man was 40.5 degrees in sagittal plane, 40 degrees in frontal or coronal plane, and 46.5 degrees in the transversal or axial plane. The direction of the lance was from front to back, from bottom to top, and from right to left. Also, the distance traversed from skin to skin was 268.4 millimeters. In thoracic cavity 190 millimeters. And to produce a penetrating wound of magnitude 5 cm in the entrance wall and 3.6 cm in the exit wall, should have been a spearhead with a shape coincident with those exposed in this video, and a length of 373.5. Anatomically, the organism rests in the path of penetration of the tip of the lance, where skin, subcutaneous cellular tissue, anterior muscular aponeurose of the intercostal muscle, the muscle itself, its posterior aponeurose, pleura, the right lung, its lower lobe, transparent in the image, the pericardium, right atrium, pericardium, vessel, pleura, left lung, pleura, the muscle intercostal, long dorsal, major rhomboid, and trapezius with their respective aponeurose, subcutaneous, the cellular tissue, and skin. It can also be determined from the previous data that the distance between the ground surface and the patibulum was 2,228 millimeters, and the distance between the ground surface and the right foot of the man of the cross was 463 millimeters. In addition, the distance between the body of Longinus and the body of Jesus at the moment of penetration of the spear was of approximately 1,000 millimeters. This is what Longinus' spear said.